Hello everyone, welcome to the business law class. So we'll move towards the next topic. Okay, last class I hope you remember we have learned the wagering and I have given you a very small task, that is writing the difference between wagering and contingent contract, and I hope you have completed. And as always I used to say, hope is the only one thing, okay, which gives us the strength to lead our life. So today we'll learn about a new topic, that is discharge of contract. Okay, so first we'll check out what is actually the discharge of contract. So I hope you can also read it here. Discharge of contract means the termination of contractual relationship between parties, that is when the rights and obligation created by it come to an end. Okay, like we are going to what? Termination of contractual relationship between whom? Between the parties. Okay, what actually, when the rights and obligations arising out of a contract are completed, okay, executed, then the contract is said to be discharged. Okay, and a contract may be discharged either by the act of the parties or maybe sometimes operation of law. Okay, so act of parties may take different forms like performance, agreement, breach. Okay, and if we say that operation of law, then maybe it will be death, insolvency. So different modes are available through which we can go for the discharge of contract. Okay, so it's listed here. We have 6 main headings. Okay, what are the different modes for discharge of contract? So we'll check out one by one. Very first we have discharge by performance. So very simple. Okay, when the parties to a contract perform their shares of promises, the contract is discharged. See, you whenever parties have entered into a contract, we have learned earlier also, both will have some rights and some obligation to perform. So when both parties going to perform their part of obligations and going to enjoy their part of rights, definitely, okay, performance completed and contract will get discharged, terminated, clear. Okay, contract will come at the end. Okay, and earlier also I remember we have learned performance types. Okay, and again it is here. Performance may be actual performance or maybe offer of performance or tender. So actual performance, very simple, like when the parties to the contract have performed their respective promises under the contract. I'll just suppose there was a contract between you and me where I was supposed to sell you, I hope you remember this old example, okay, where I have agreed that I will sell you a red color Audi car and you have agreed that you are going to pay me 5 lakh rupees. So I delivered you the Audi car on the agreed date and time and place, and you paid me the 5 lakh rupees. So this is actual performance and the contract complete, terminated, discharged. Okay, now another we have learned offer of performance or tender, or attempted performance or a tender. Okay, so if you remember this also, here what actually happening, here actually the promisor showing willingness. Okay, promisor is ready to perform their obligation, but promisee reject the same. Okay, like in our old example only, that red color, I am ready to deliver the car, but you are saying that no, I don't want delivery now. Okay, so this type of things will known as your attempted performance. Okay, so when you will say like no, I am not ready now, so definitely I will be like okay fine, he is not interested, so I'll search for the another party. Okay, so that is your offer of performance or attempted performance or a tender. Okay, so this is your first mode of discharge of contract. Now moving to the next. Okay, discharge by agreement or consent. Okay, so where you people are going, or even we used to say that discharge by mutual consent or agreement. Okay, so definitely a contract can be discharged, okay, by mutual agreement also, and those we have following ways. Under that also we have some different ways. Very first is known as a novation. Okay, so it is like substitution of a new contract for the original one. Okay, substitution of a new contract for the original one. Now again, just take an example. Okay, A owes rupees 100 to B under a contract. Okay, and B owed rupees 100 to C, and then it was agreed among A, B and C that A would pay rupees 100 to C. So earlier the contract was between A and B, and now the contract is between A and C. Okay, so this is your novation, substitute of a new contract for the original. Okay, then next we have a alteration. Okay, so alteration, simple meaning, definitely basic English meaning you know, and same thing we used to apply here also. Okay, a change in one or more of the terms. Okay, change in one or more of the terms of a contract with the consent of all the contracting parties. See, whenever you are going to change a small term also in your existing contract, you have to take the consent for the same from your all the contracting parties, who all parties are involved in that particular contract. As a suppose, just take example one more. A agreed with B to supply 100 television sets at a certain price, okay, by the end of October. Okay, and after some time A and B mutually agreed, okay, that supply can be made by the end of November. So this is what alteration. Okay, we are like in this example they have altered the time of delivery. Okay, now, next we have remission. Okay, so it is like acceptance of a lesser sum. Okay, and generally when I'm talking about the sum, then it is going to be a promissory. Okay, acceptance of a lesser sum, okay, than what was contracted for. Okay, or a lesser fulfillment of the promise made. Earlier also we have seen this. Okay, like just suppose you and me again under a contract where I owes to you rupees 5,000, fine, and then I paid you rupees 2,000 and you accepted the amount in satisfaction of the whole debt. Okay, and the whole debt got discharged. Getting it? I have taken from you 5,000 rupees. Okay, I owed 5,000 rupees from you and I am repaying you only 2,000, and you are saying it's okay. Okay, the amount I like you are ready to accept the amount in satisfaction of the whole debt. Okay, so this is your remission. Fine. So these are the mode of discharging the contract when we are going for the agreement or consent. Okay, next we have discharge by subsequent impossibility. Okay, subsequent impossibility. Now here one thing always keep remember. Okay, if it is a case of initial impossibility, okay, then whether it is known with the parties or unknown with the parties, okay, from the starting only it is going to be a void contract. You can't enforce it. Okay, you can't enforce it. Okay, by law it is not enforceable, because if just suppose a stupid example that you and me again in the contract, and the contract is to get a original star from the sky, definitely it is impossible to perform. Okay, and if at all knowing this we are entering into a contract, then it is going to be a void from the initial stage itself. Okay, but sometimes what happen, it is going to become a supervening impossibility. Okay, that is when we have entered into the contract. Okay, when we like starting, when we have entered for a something, that time the contract was good. Okay, the contract was valid, fine, but subsequently the whatever the activity or whatever the obligations we have agreed under that contract, subsequently it became impossible to perform. Okay, and that is like impossible after the formation of the contract. Okay, any reason can be, or maybe it is going to be a beyond the control of promisor, fine, and for this any reason can be possible, for which you have entered now, maybe it is, if it is a personal nature, okay, if the performance was based on the personal nature and the person is like no more now, so definitely you can't perform it. Now it is going to be a impossible, okay, and then it is going to be a unlawful, and definitely such type of contract performance not required, it will get discharged. Okay, now next we have discharge by lapse of time. So time out, okay, time out, there is no performance over, and now contract is discharged. Okay, see, every contract and promise under the contract should be performed within a time limit, okay, within the time limit. And if the contract is discharged within time limit, very good. If it is not performed within time limit, okay, or enforced within a specified period, then definitely it is going to be a discharge by lapse of time. Okay, and for this always a common example goes with your period of limitation. Again, that is time barred debt. Okay, so period of limitation we know very well. For recovering the debt, 3 years, and 12 years for the recovery of immovable property. So within that, if you want, you can take the actions, okay, you can enforce this, you can perform your obligations and rights, but after that you can't, automatically the contract will get discharged. Okay, now the next we have discharge of contract by operation of law. Okay, so when the law used to come, whenever something is not working, nothing else is working, so definitely automatically the law will come. Okay, and now here a contract terminated by operation of law with the following cases we have. So very first we have insolvency. Okay, so we know very well, okay, if a court is going to declare an individual as insolvent, then the rights and duties of such persons are transferred to the officer of the court, okay, who is called as your official receiver. Fine. And after the order of the court, whoever was that individual person will definitely get discharged from his liability incurred before his insolvency. You can't enforce it. Clear? Now the next we have merger. Okay, so it's like conversion of inferior rights into the superior rights. Okay, as I suppose a person holds property under lease, okay, and after some time he purchased the same property, so on the purchase, lease agreement will get discharged. Now he is a owner. Okay, so that is your merger case. The next we have death. So automatically, if one party or anyone who has entered into the contract, if that person is going to die, and if the contract was like in need of personal skill, automatically that contract will get discharged on the death of the promisor. Clear? Now the next we will move. Next we have discharge by breach of contract, cheating, maybe. Okay, breach of contract. See, each and every contract must be performed in keeping with its terms. Okay, like just suppose if I'll take mine and yours also, that red color Audi car. So it's not sure, it should not happen that I am going to give you the delivery of white color Audi car. Okay, it will definitely a breach of contract. Okay, it should not there without your consent. If with your consent I am going to alter it, then definitely it is a case of alteration. That is different one. Okay, so here what happened, where the promisor fails to perform the contract, okay, like as per the terms of contract, then it is going to be known as your breach of contract. And here also we have a two type. One is anticipatory. Okay, so and anticipatory is like when a party to an executor contract declares his intention of not performing the contract before the performance is due. Okay, so what happened here, like take one simple example. Okay, A agreed with B to sell his car on a fixed rate, okay, but he sell it to C. Okay, he is going to sell it to C. So this is a anticipatory breach. Okay, and then next we have a actual breach. refers to the failure to perform contractual obligation when performance is due. Okay, so whenever the performance was due, the parties failed to perform it as per the contractual terms and condition, then it is going to be known as a breach of contract. But sometimes it is like you if still the party is interested to perform, then he can talk with the other party and agree for the or go for the some extra time. But sometimes here what happened that if another party has suffered with the some loss damages, okay, then this party has to compensate it. Okay, and about the damages we'll learn in the next class in detail. Okay, for the day this much. Keep learning. Have a nice day. Enjoy.